The University of Maryland is a top-of-the-line Big Ten school, home to over 37,000 students. However, with 62,978 parking citations being issued by DOTS in the 2014 fiscal year on the University of Maryland campus alone, it is time we ask ourselves some weighing questions. Why are so many tickets being issued? What is DOTS doing to decrease this number? Why is the DOTS parking website so difficult to navigate? And how much money is DOTS making off of this inconvenience? The details regarding where you can park, how long you can park in a chosen spot, and the cost to park are not clear on the DOTS website, and as a result, people frequently misinterpret the regulations and are fined inconsistent amounts of money. We propose that DOTS make some significant updates to the website and its maps in order to make them user-friendly. The organizational change model we felt best fit with our problem and our intended plan of action was the action research approach, in which we collect data from various sources and implement change based on our analysis. The most relevant type of leadership, considering the issue at hand and the model we chose to use, is task-oriented leadership, where the leader would take an executive role in assigning tasks and producing a successful output in an effective and timely manner.
The University of Maryland requires all students to obtain a parking registration in order to park in an assigned lot overflow area. Students with the class standing of junior and above are eligible to register for parking. Freshmen and sophomores are eligible on a space available basis. In order to register for parking, students must create a profile in UMD's parking management system. Students are then eligible to sign up for a space on their assigned dates. Dates are assigned according to student classification, which is based on student status and class standing. This table depicts UMD parking fees. Students are grouped into three categories: commuter, resident, and satellite resident. Commuter students are assigned to a commuter parking lot based on their class standing and lot availability. Overnight parking is prohibited in all commuter lots. Commuters wishing to park overnight must register for Lot 7. Parking violations are classified into 4 different categories, which determine how much can be charged for the infraction. Violations are classified as follows: nuisance, inconvenience, safety, and fraud. Citation recipients must either pay the fine or request a review within 15 calendar days of the violation. Citation recipients may request a review either through the University of Maryland DOT system or through the Prince George's County District Court.
According to the 2014-2015 annual report of DOTS, DOTS is working towards developing new and innovative ways for drivers to appeal their parking violations on campus. DOTS is planning to add a real-time review request option and allow violators to either submit a written review or schedule a video call with a member of the DOTS Student Citation Review Unit. While this effort will likely ease the appeal process, it does not show any promises of reducing violations or clarifying the restrictions. When analyzing the parking violations on campus, the numbers prove that students receive the harshest reviews. While over 55% of parking violations are voided for faculty, staff, and visitors, only 14% of violations were voided for students in the past year. Perhaps if more focus was placed on signage and clarifying the parking website, less strategizing and expenses would be necessary for parking violation reviews. Less than 10% of the appeals for faculty, staff, and visitor parking violations were denied this past year, while over 70% of student appeals were not granted. Why should the students be hit the hardest by the parking violations?
When comparing the ticket prices of the University of Maryland to other schools in the Big Ten, it's easy to determine that UMD parking fees are excessively high. University of Maryland's 2014 to 2015 annual report states that the penalty fine revenue for parking was $2.2 million in that year alone.
The ticketing policies of Michigan State, Purdue, and Northwestern are significantly different from University of Maryland's.
Each of these schools has much cheaper ticketing. Michigan State prices are usually $25 per ticket, with Purdue being $35 for parking in the wrong place or at an expired meter. Purdue also only charges $5 a day for visitor parking passes, while UMD charges at least $20. Northwestern charges about $15 per ticket for an expired meter and $30 to $50 for parking in a wrong lot. In a Washington Post article written in 1977, Ken Cummins writes about the shortage of parking spaces at University of Maryland and the emanating anger of university students. In 1977, $500,000 were generated in ticket revenue. This parallels the current problems at University of Maryland now, where the ticket revenue is high and there's not enough parking spots to accommodate all students. Rather than fix the problem, the school hopes to eliminate over 1,000 spots.
How do you feel about dots?
I hate dots.
How much do you hate dots?
Like a lot.
Why do you hate dots?
Because they ruin your day. Always. They just give you tickets for everything.
What experiences have you had with dots?
Well, I've had many tickets from Dots. Initially, my first year here, Dots gave me a ticket the first week of school for parking it for like an hour longer than I was supposed to, and I repealed it, and they still didn't give me any sanctions. They made me pay the full $75 again, and that occurred like 2 more times afterwards. And just for really minor mistakes. So the DOT system should definitely change. It's a bad system, and they're taking a bunch of money from poor students.
Do you think clearer maps would help?
Yes, clear maps would help the DOT system and students.
We created a survey asking various questions about on-campus parking and the amount of tickets survey participants have received. The following results are based upon 100 responses. 73% of respondents have a car on campus or have driven on campus in the past. Approximately 45% spend $481 or $249 annually, resident students and commuter students respectively, to park their cars on campus. The next question asked respondents how much money they have spent on the sum of all tickets incurred here on campus. About half reported less than $50, 37% reported at somewhere less than $200, and 13% reported more than $200. Only 64% of people who took our survey know about the resources provided on the DOTS website about parking information. Additionally, when provided with a small section of the parking map shown online, 54% of people said that they could not accurately read the map in a short amount of time, emulating the situation of rushing to locate a parking spot. Approximately 35% asserted that they could have read the map if they were given more time, and a mere 11% successfully interpreted the map within the given time frame. More importantly, 89% of respondents stated that they would not take the extra time necessary to decipher the series of complicated maps on the DOTS website if they were rushing to locate a parking space. Considering the price of tuition at the University of Maryland, as well as the annual fee to park on campus, it is only fair for UMD to provide customers with a clear, informative, and interactive website that is easy to navigate. In order to reduce the number of tickets distributed on campus and improve student and visitor welfare, it is crucial for DOTS to redesign its website.
We first diagnosed the problem by surveying people about their concerns with DOTS. We then analyzed the main concerns of people, which are not being able to understand the maps and unclear about where and how long you can park in certain spots. As a team, we took on the feedback step by sharing our research and findings to develop an action plan to implement changes. Based on our findings, updating the DOTS map and website should be first priority because most people cannot accurately read the information provided by the maps. Currently, the information is separated by color and requires users to match the color of the parking lot to the information. If the parking regulations about a certain parking spot pops up when the computer mouse hovers over a parking lot on the map, users can better understand it since they would not need to look back and forth between the information on the side and the parking lot on the map. Additionally, this would make the information more concise and easier to understand. Another change DOTS should implement is to provide specific guidelines about parking violations on their websites and on the signs of the parking lots. If students know how much they will be charged for parking in areas they're not supposed to, they are more likely to avoid parking there. Also, this would ensure ticket fairness among students, as many have complained and appealed to unreasonable parking tickets. Furthermore, when we compare parking tickets issued by DOTS and the City of College Park, DOTS have certainly overcharged students. Along with the tuition hike, expensive parking tickets only increase student frustration. Therefore, DOTS should price the parking fines similar to those of the City of College Park.
Throughout our presentation, we discussed the problem with DOTS's current parking procedures on campus. We provided research to clarify the issue, and finally proposed a resolution. As a group, we feel that DOTS should make significant updates to its website and maps so that users have an easier time navigating the information. In order to fully implement our vision, we will need someone determined to persevere even when DOTS fails to respond, as we experienced when working on our project. This type of leader, often deemed an executive, will make sure tasks are accomplished and maintain focus throughout the process. The problem with unclear information has persisted for too long, and it is time for the proper leadership to step up and take control of the issue.